Okay, we're going to go over how to file for divorce in the state of Minnesota. So you want to get on this web page so we can go through the step-by-step together. And the first step, there are two ways to download the required Minnesota divorce papers. Now the first one is probably the easiest, which is just follow this link right here to get our free blank divorce papers for Minnesota. And it'll look just like this. You can get all these forms, which we'll be talking about soon, just by clicking here to download package, be in a free zip file, and after that you can either click this link or just go back to the step-by-step page. Now step 2, you must meet with your spouse in order to fill out the following forms. So what you'll have to do is just hopefully you both are on somewhat good terms and you want to fill out these forms together. If you receive financial assistance from the state or local authorities, then you'll have to fill out the notice to county support and collections, basically just letting them know that you are filing for divorce, so that if you're receiving some kind of aid that pertains that both of you must be married, they basically want to know. So step 3, you must go to the court clerk's office in your county and submit the summons and petition for the dissolution of marriage. The filing fee in the state of Minnesota is $200, and during the filing, attach a filed copy of the petition for the dissolution of marriage to the judgment and decree of dissolution, and mark the petition for the dissolution of marriage as Exhibit A. So you basically just want to attach this petition to your judgment and decree of dissolution and write Exhibit A at the top. Step 4, you will have to notify your spouse of the filing by sending him or her copies of the forms filed. The following forms you will need to send via mail return receipt requested. Now this is very important. You have to send it certified mail, and you have to request a receipt. And what you'll do is after they mail it, and they'll actually have your spouse sign that form, and you'll need to have that form that they signed to get back to prove that you actually sent these forms. So you'll also have to send this new form along with these two forms that you filed at the clerk's office. This is called the admission of service. Now you will need to have your spouse completely fill this out, sign it, and you'll have to get it back from them. Now this is very important because you need to file this with the clerk's office in order to move to the next step. Now sometimes there will be a spouse that will have cold feet, and it'll be tough to get this back from. So you just want to make sure that you're both on the same page, especially after spending a $400 filing fee. Step 5, you'll have to schedule a time to meet with your spouse and complete the following forms in agreement with each other. Now this is really the hardest part of the whole divorce, is negotiating the marital termination agreement. And if you own real estate, add the real estate attachment form. But this is where you're going to just be deciding the cars, if you have property, credit card debt, all of it, if you have cash in the bank. So this is the agreement of agreements, and you want to be very careful that you read every line before you sign it. Judgment and decree of dissolution, it's pretty standard, just court stuff. There's not going to be too much outlined in there. The next step, in order to schedule a court hearing, you'll have to fill out the following form: final hearing request, and you'll have to file the forms up here as well. And after filing, you'll have to send copies of all your forms to your spouse to let them know of the court hearing date, and attend your hearing. And if you've completed all these steps, the judge will authorize your judgment and decree of dissolution, and once you get that back that's signed by the judge, you're officially divorced in the state of Minnesota. So that's it. That's how you file for divorce in the state of Minnesota. There's a few requirements to file for divorce. Either party must be a resident for at least 6 months, and the only cause for divorce. And a divorce in Minnesota can take a minimum of 5 months. So that's it. That's how you file for divorce in Minnesota.